Who were the five wizards? After the last alliance of elves and men teamed up to take down Sauron, the gods knew that at some point old Helmet Head would return.
I'll be back.
But the next time the free peoples of Middle-earth would be hard-pressed to defeat him. Many elves were selling back to Valinor to avoid the mortality taxes in Middle-earth. The super cool men of Numenor had turned into the kinda cool men of Gondor. The country of Arnor went the way of the Fellowship and broke up entirely. Thranduil and the Woodland Elves lost most of their army fighting Sauron and would never recover. And dwarves just weren't tall enough. Now the eternal gods of Middle-earth are called the Valar, and Gandalf and Saruman are mini-gods called Maiar. The Valar decided to send a team of Maiar to Middle-earth in case Sauron would return. Saruman volunteered to be their champion, and all the gods agreed that he was a great choice. He put together a team of 3 other Maiar to go with him, but Saruman was definitely the big cheese. He was the boss. But then, something happened that Saruman did not intend. The gods asked Gandalf to go as well, and not as part of Saruman's team, oh no. He was to go as an independent, kind of a backup plan in case Saruman's team needed another set of eyes or ideas. One of the gods even suggested that Gandalf would make a better leader. Saruman was furious, and he secretly resented G for the rest of his life. As for Gandalf, he initially resisted. You see, Sauron gave him the heebie-jeebies. Was it his flaming hands that could melt your face off, or all the constant creepy eyeball stares? Not sure, but Gandalf was terrified of the guy, though he eventually agreed to go when the gods persisted. Anyway, these Maiar were clothed in human bodies and were forbidden to show their true power. The Valar nerfed all of their stats. You see, it was their job to teach us how to defeat evil, not to do it for us. And so, these legendary 5 heroes sailed to Middle-earth and became known in time as the Istari, the 5 wizards: Saruman the White, Gandalf the Grey, Radagast the Brown, Alatar and Palantar the Blue, the chief opponents of the Dark Lord sent by the Valar to save Middle-earth. Legends. The 2 blue wizards came way before the others and traveled to the Sauron-dominated lands of Rhûn and the Harad, but only vague rumors ever came back about their adventures. Some say they turned to the dark side and established evil cults of dark magic. Others say they were true Jedi and started rebellions that helped save Middle-earth.
This is the way.
Whatever the true story, Saruman eventually traveled to see them, and they were never heard of again. Radagast settled down in Rosgobel, found a subreddit about zoology, and became totally obsessed, spending all his time with birds and animals. He's basically the NSA of Middle-earth, running a spy team of birds to do aerial reconnaissance and deliver messages to the other wizards. Saruman got a sweet deal on the Tower of Orthanc and moved to Isengard, where he eventually found a Palantir that allowed him to look far and wide over Middle-earth. His hobbies included researching how the Rings of Power were made, working on his honey-smooth baritone voice, and perfecting a recipe for salted pork. Gandalf was more of a travel blogger and never really took a permanent home. He spent much of his time with the elves in Rivendell and Lothlorien, in between occasional trips to the Shire to visit his weed dealer, Mr. Baggins. And so in the year 1701, the wizards formed the White Council, consisting of Saruman, Gandalf, Galadriel, Elrond, and several elven leaders. Here they would discuss plans related to the eventual war with Sauron. But first order of business, gotta pick a leader. Saruman nominated himself, of course, and everyone agreed that he was a great choice. But then Galadriel spoke up and suggested that maybe Gandalf would make a better leader. And then there was the catastrophe with the Elven Rings of Power when Saruman figured out that the elves gave Gandalf a magic ring and didn't give him a magic ring, and he got super jelly, and from that day forward decided to secretly work against Gandalf. Sheesh. Eventually, Saruman became convinced that the only way to really beat Mordor would be for him to get the One Ring. Using it, he could defeat Sauron, show everyone that he was way cooler than Gandalf, and return to Valinor as a hero. So when Sauron started reappearing in Dol Guldur disguised as the Necromancer, Saruman saw his chance. He knew that Sauron was a ring magnet, and if allowed to grow in strength, the ring would pop up like Pop-Tarts from a toaster. So he convinced the others in the White Council that the Necromancer was a fake so Sauron could continue to grow, and eagle-eyed the Anduin River looking for the ring to emerge. Even tricked Radagast into using his bird friends to help him watch out. It was a great plan, and it would have worked too if it wasn't for that nosy Schmeagol. Yep. Old Schneagle had found the ring 500 years before and taken it through canyons deep and caverns old to the misty mountains cold. Amazing. Saruman was looking in the wrong place. Eventually he became so desperate that he started to use the Palantir to search for the ring, but accidentally butt-dialed Sauron and was ensnared by the Dark Lord. In the end, Saruman became unemployed when Gandalf was promoted to his job, homeless when Treebeard took possession of Isengard, and lifeless when he was killed by Grima Wormtongue. Ouch. Gandalf was the only one of the 5 wizards that stayed true to his mission, opposed Sauron, and was allowed to return back home to Valinor.